Hi everyone. How are you? All good? So for those um, who are reading and following everything every day, so I didn't post the in the blog today till 20 minutes ago um, because I just wrote it. So today I had a very Libra day. I have a very weird day, no inspiration, and like just nothing. So it was very hard. Um, so today was one of those days that I couldn't do anything, that I had no will for anything. So I was just sitting there and reading the whole day. Weird day. So the feeling that I had today, I guess, is like I've been I've been realizing today that I have been doing exactly the same every day, and every day I do the same, and I see the same people, the same place. Even if I feel fine because I'm feeling fine, I have everything that I need. Um, I'm very like weird. I need. Um, it's not my nature. So so basically, I'm not feeling bad. So I'm fine. I'm fine. But it's very weird because I usually want to do stuff, but it's not even that what I want. It's like uh, I don't want to do different things. Like if I have the opportunity to go and do something, I would say no. I would rather stay here and read, which is something that I never would do it. So so that's it. So just to say that if you feel me weird explaining things today, it's just that I am having a very weird um, week. So let's begin with today's topic. This is tiredness of not doing anything. So today is the topic we're going to discuss today is mm, is that's a problem to begin like this because the topic for today is remember is remember and forget, oblivion, better said, remember and oblivion. Today I've been trying also to try to think about what is happening to me, to say maybe it's some planet. And yes, today with uh, we started with how to say Mercury retrograde, and we are also in Mars retrograde. So of course this is very very heavy weeks that we expect to in terms of communication. But even if I was trying to if I was trying to look for astrological explanation, um, I guess this is because since July 25th, I've been doing the same. I've been doing these videos. I've been doing exactly the same, going to the pyramid every day. And of course, I'm tired. Kind of like that. I'm not used to the day by day. So even without weekends, so I don't even know which day is today. So it's whoa. Um, ah. So I'm sorry, but it's what we have. Um, the topic for today is to remember and to forget, the oblivion. So let's try to think about this. Remember that we are in the Libra month, so we are trying to balance topics that are usually opposite to each other, but we are trying to put them together as one. So for sure, to remember and to forget, there are two very different things that we usually set as opposites to each other. So let's go to the origin of the words so we could know what is the origin of the concepts we are talking about. So first of all, let's go to the word remember. Remember comes from the Latin word re and member. Re is to go back to do it again, and member is parts, the members of a body, the members of a congregation, the members of something. So this means basically to join all the parts that are separated, all the different concepts that were divided through the experience, through life, that through history we have been dividing as different memories. All these memories, when you try to remember, must be put them all together. We should put them all together in order to can see them, to make a logic of all of them. So that's what remembering means, to unite all these different parts to make a logic of them. In Spanish language, we used to call this like recordis, that means to come back to the heart. So come back to the heart is because they thought that the center where everything could be joined is the center of a person, which is the heart. So in the other hand, to forget, and we are going to use the word oblivion, which comes from the Latin words. Oblivion means comes from the word from the Indo-European word that is slippery, means slippery. So something like the moth on the rock, when is in a when is in a cave where everything is dark and there is a lot of humidity, and a person can fall down because of the slippery rocks. So kind of you fall into the darkness of the cave. So this is basically what oblivion means, to fall down, to lose the balance, okay, something like that. So basically what oblivion would mean is for the ancient ones is to lose the balance, okay, to lose the balance of where I am and fall into the darkness because I cannot have a point of reference. So basically, to make a summary of this, if remembering would be to see the different parts and put them together in my axis, so to forget would be to lose the axis and don't be able to see the different parts. So basically, our society is based on the will of remembering, because for us, to remember, um, for us to uh, to remember is something very important, because it's something that that we need, okay, to understand history, not to forget what happened, to have memory is important. So this is why we always remember, we always hear this sentence like, remember, you have to remember, it's important to remember. And of course, to forget, the oblivion is something bad, is something that it's ignorance, okay? So for example, I am kind of a rememberer, and most of you maybe are following everything that I do because I remember everything that I've done before I was born. I can remember my past lives, everything, what I did, but this is my gift, and a lot of people used to say, how can I do to remember too, like you do? And it's very difficult to say exactly how, because it's not that I did a process to remember. It was something that I was born with. And to understand this, it's like if you take a person that has the gift of music, there are some people that are just born with the ability of the music, and there's other people that they are willing to become musicians. So with much time and a lot of practice and study, that people, those persons can become also musicians, can play instruments. But for the person that was born with that, it's difficult to explain how, because they didn't study, they just know music. And this happens to all of us in different aspects. So when some people used to tell me, how can I do to remember as you do, I would say, no, first try to figure what is your own gift, because maybe you are losing time trying to imitate the of others because you think that is good, but the best way is to awake your own, because you have it there constantly with yourself, and trying to imitate others, you just lose a lot of time. So, and here we come about the concept of remembering, because when you realize this, you will know that your gift is a part of yourself. So all you have to do is start to put the different parts of yourself together. When you start with all the different parts that you never pay attention to, and you put them together, you start to give them a meaning, a sense. You understand the logic of all that. And that process is remembering. Remembering is precisely that, to give a logic to all the parts that I have within that are disordered or separated from each other. So you put them together and you remember. So this is why to remember is not about to remember history. It's not about to know what happened in other lives or in the cosmos. To remember is to be able to connect all the different parts that I have from myself and to put order in them, to connect them again, so I can see the logic of all of that. So sometimes I don't remember because I just go to the past. I remember because I am able to connect the dots of the things that are separated. So I understand the logic, and suddenly the everything opens and you can understand the memory of it. So to understand how this works, we have to understand how the brain works. The brain is like a computer. It's a computer that registers data constantly, all the time. So it's writing information all the time. But the brain has many folders or boxes where it puts all the information. So you have a box or a folder of smells, another one of colors, another one of feelings. And the brain takes one smell, one color, and one feeling and put them together, creates a memory, which comes from information, which is the word memo. Okay, and that's memory. It's a data. It's an information altogether. So remember, what would be remember? Would be to take the information from the smell, the color, and the feeling, and put them together, creating a memory. And that memory, this process of putting together a memory, we call remember. The process of creating a memory, we call it remember. But we have to understand this, that remember is not something that your brain does going to the past to look for information. What your brain does is to take the information of the data that you have taken from those experiences and put them together. I hope you got this, because it's very important. Remember is not to the past to bring memories. Remember is to put data that you already have within to understand the data that you have from an experience that you had. Okay? So, remember, the memory, the remembering, is not something that you go to look in the past. Remembering is the concept, the action of looking for information that you already have within, already organized in your brain, and it put it together to the memory so you can understand what happened. So this is why to remember is to give logic to something that happened. But not only what happened, also all the things and data that maybe has a relation with that I am trying to solve. So the questions would come now that, so how is it possible that I can remember other lives or other beings or whatever? Well, we have to remember everything that we have spoken in previous videos, that there is not such a thing as other, because the universe is a constant, is everything one. So there is not other lives. It's only one life being expressed in different shapes. So this helps us to understand that whatever we remember is information, data, that is not only ours, that is from the whole world. Because even the water that you have drinking that you drink every day was also drunk by a dinosaur someday. So that's why we can remember everything. So basically, we are not separated beings. We are a constant of the universe. So when I say something that I remember, it's information from the whole universe. It's from everything. Because the information is in the atoms, in the energy of atoms. And my atoms are the same atoms that are also in the stars. We are stardust. So from the very beginning, we are the memory of the universe. And we are memory because we are memory because we are data of the universe, information. So this is why we can remember whatever, because within ourselves we have the information of whatever. So the only way I can remember an information is if I am in the same frequency and vibration of that information. So the reason why we can only perceive one information is because we have to be in the same vibration as the other information in order to be seen, to be remembered. This works like if you have two buildings very close, one to each other, and you are in, you have many windows, many layers. So so you will be able to see the layer in front of you of the other building because you are very close to it. So if you change your ground, you will see a different information, a different perspective. Okay, so this is what happened with the universe. According to in which level you are, in which information you are aligned to, you will have a perception and information specifically to your level. So let's say it again. To remember is to put the different parts together. So I will only be able to put the parts together, to put those parts together, those that I can see, that I can resound. So so this is why I will be able to remember only those that I can see. So this explains why you will be able to remember according to the resonance, the vibration that you have. So the reason, so also to say this, we used to remember, example, we used to remember according to the perceptions that our tree of life has experienced. So for example, if my tree of life has experienced the good part of Atlantis when everything was great, so I will remember a very good Atlantis. But some other person that will that maybe had lived the flood and the end of Atlantis will have passed the information through the cells to us now, that they lived the horrible part of Atlantis. So that other person will remember something horrible from that civilization, and me, I will be remember something good from that civilization. And this is exactly the same as when you gather with friends or with brothers, siblings, whoever, and you talk about things that happened when you were a child, and suddenly everyone remembers something very different from the rest. And this is because what you remember is not what happened. What you remember is your experience of what happened. To remember is to put together data that I have within me. So before we start to try to remember past lives, what we have to do is to try to exercise ourselves to understand how we are vibrationally in this moment and how we relate with information in this here and this now. So now we have to answer the idea of what is to forget, what is oblivion, what is the goal of this process of forgetting things. So remember that oblivion is to get lost. Have you seen that in the spiritual path? People usually say we have to be more in the present. We have to be present in ourselves. We have to live more here and now. So this is why oblivion, because oblivion is what helps you to be in the present. So to understand what is oblivion, remember that oblivion meant the darkness where you fell down in that cave. So to get would be to be in that darkness, not being able to see what is around you, not having any point of reference. So if there is no point of reference outside, what is the only point of reference? It's myself, me. That's the only thing. It's myself, the only one I can use. So this is why oblivion is something that helps you to be yourself, to be here and now, to focus in the details of who you are here and now. So basically, the concept would be this, that the oblivion of the past and the oblivion of the future, set yourself free. In which sense? That when you remember what you have been, when you remember what you are going to be, you are conditioned by all the things that you have done and all the things that you will do. So you lose yourself in the possibility to see what you are now. And in order to understand the whole, you need to get with yourself, what you call the essence. And the essence can only be felt here and now by just being. So this is why the universe needs for you to forget. Because to forget is the only way in which you recognize the potential, the essence that you have here and now. See? Okay? So both concepts are useful. Sometimes there have been people saying to me, it's very easy for you because you can do your mission because you remember everything. But it's not like that, because remembering for me is a tool, it's not my purpose. And I have lost a lot of time in my life because I was living more in the future and in the past than in the present. Because I was just trying to do things, to solve things from the past and to do things for the future, but never putting energy in the present. There are a lot of people that have done much more in life by forgetting than remembering. So remember is not something that that will help you to the process of remembering is not something that will help you accomplish your mission here and now. It's not something that will help you to accomplish your purpose in life. It's just a tool as any other. That's it. So to remember is not a key to live better. To remember, in order to live better, the person must live in the present. So you will do that even if you remember, but besides remembering, you have to live in the present. So the great gift and grace that we may have in our lives would be the ability to live in the present like a kid, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, just living the present, but with the wisdom of an elder one that knows what happened in the past and it's open to what is going to happen in the future. Okay, so let's go to the information for today. The vibration for today is fire. The statement for today is, I am the flux of thinking, of thoughts. So the code for today is the physical pattern PO, which is the last letter in the Atlantean alphabet. And it says, for that, decides to go to the deepest part of the world, letting go the idea of going to the stars, and searching for the nucleus of the world through its roots, going through darkness, knowing that it doesn't exist anymore, going to the roots, pillars of the past, knowing that they are the foundations of its existence, and acknowledges that in a sphere, the only common point among its 360 degrees, it's not on the top, but in the center. So, other thing that I want to say before we start, according to the last letter that we have read now, and all the explanations that we are doing in Libra, is that for sure for people that is new and that it's looking not by doing the process but from the outside, you maybe or they can perceive that maybe I am bringing you to the darkness and trying to push you towards the I don't know, like to be lost in the universe or whatever. So I'm explaining this because I know that there's a lot of people that maybe believe that I am using this energy and controlling everyone and trying to take energy from you. So I just wanted to say this because I know there's a lot of people that maybe would ask to you about what is why are you doing this, or I've heard that he's trying to do this control of energy or whatever. And the reason why I speak so well about the darkness and the light as common, as both the same, is because one of the main keys that I always have heard from humanity is that is the will of change, that we want to change, to do something different, to do something new, transcendental. And it's weird that people is trying to do something different with the same tools, saying that there is a bad guy and a good guy, and always like that, always the same. So you are not going to change the world in a different perspective if you don't transcend the tools that you have used for thousands of years. So we need to change that. So I am one thinking that I rather change my tools, my perceptions, okay, than keep following this absurd fight between light and darkness and so on. Okay, so I guess we can do better than that. We have done that always and never worked. So this is why I do this in this way. And if people is willing to make me the bad guy of the movie, I will love that, because being the good one in the movies is so boring. Without the bad guy, there's no movie. So I'm glad. So another thing is that I've been reading people that said, please sing or channel something, but I cannot control channeling. It just happened. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen 5 months. In 5 months, I don't know. I don't I don't control that. So channeling is something that just happened. So if happens, happens. So today I'm very alone, and there's no one here, no one in other level of consciousness, in another dimension. No, and I'm alone here. So sorry, but you will be you will have to hear me, no one else. So we begin stretching the body, yawning, caressing. And I relax the body, focusing in my breathing. I start to perceive the air coming inside my body. I feel how it moves inside me, making me feel like if I am empty, only air and wind spinning. I feel the air around my body to connect with the air within my body. I feel myself soft and light like a feather. I perceive the energy of my body to move like wind within my body, in a spiral of colors, expressing outside through the skin like a twister around me. I put my hands facing the sky at the height of my heart. I perceive the light of the eye of the sun coming towards me, going through the crown and anchoring in the third eye, in the center of my brain, with a beautiful indigo color. I perceive indigo light coming outside of my body through my eyes like two rays of indigo color heading to my hands, filling up my hands with this beautiful light. I perceive in one hand the concept of remembering. So all my memories, all the data, information that I have within my brain is there, connected in the concept of remember. And on my other hand, I have the oblivion, the empty void of nothing, darkness that makes me be here and now. I become aware that remembering is the concept, the tool that helps me understand the past and the future, connecting both of them with the present. And so I become aware that the oblivion is the one helping me to be fully here and now in the present. This is how I become aware that both of them get united within me to helping me to understand that who I am here and now. I take both hands to my heart, bringing my remembering and oblivion both as one within my heart. And I unify them with the vibration of my being. I am the flux of thoughts. I am the flux of thoughts. I am the flux of thoughts. And all my thoughts are the different parts that create my memory. I am the memory and oblivion. Take a deep breath and start to spread this consciousness, stretching, caressing, and yawning. And I come back here and now, opening my eyes. Remember that a negative part of the oblivion is when the brain is trying to defend ourselves from a trauma. This is a negative aspect of oblivion, of forgetting, because it doesn't allow us to transcend. It is just stocks. It just stocks information. So this is the good aspect of remembering, which is to give a meaning, a logic to what happened and why happened what happened. So having that in mind, let's go to make the drawing of what oblivion and memory means for us. So thank you for being there, and as always, see you tomorrow at the same time.